Hey everyone, this is John with KGTropicals and KGTropicals.com. This is part one of a 10-part video series all about breeding African cichlids. In this series, I'm going to talk to you about everything that I know about how to set up a system, how to select the right fish, how to put this whole thing together so that you can add breeding African cichlids to your African cichlid hobby. I'm going to tell you, it's one of the most rewarding and one of the most fun things you will ever do. And once you do it, it's going to get you, and you're going to be hooked, and you're going to be stuck, and it's going to take over. Look what it's done to me and Lisa. I mean, it's gotten completely out of control. But I get asked questions all the time about different aspects of breeding the fish, and so I've kind of put together everything that people have asked me, along with things that I know need to be said, and put this series together. And I wanted to talk today about what the different videos are going to be. There's going to be 10 of them. This is part number one, so obviously you know what this one's about. But I wanted to go through what each video is going to be. Part two, the next video, which I'll probably start recording right after this, is going to be about selecting the fish to breed and where to get them from. Now you might say, John, don't you need to get a tank first? Don't you need to get tanks cycled and get them filtered and all this stuff before you get the fish? Well, yeah, you do, but you need to know what kind of fish you're going to get, because that is going to tell you what kind of system you need to set up. We'll get into that in a lot more detail in that video, but that's why I put that one first, because if you know what you're breeding, then you're going to know what you need to set up. Part number three is going to be the tanks. What kind of tanks to set up, what size tanks you're going to need, how to get them as cheap as possible, and how to configure them to work the best in a system like this. Part four, we're going to talk about filtration and water parameters, two absolutely critical things to not only the breeding process but also raising the fry. So that's going to be an important video that what we're going to talk about there. Part number five is the waiting game. That's what I'm going to call it, because once you get everything set up and you get your fish in the tank and you got everything going, well, there's not really a whole lot you can do at that point but sit and wait for it to happen. Now there are some little tricks, little things that you can do to kind of cause a spark in the tank that may induce spawning, and so we'll talk about those kind of things, little things that you can do that might kickstart them and get them going. And then in number 6, it's going to be titled, It Happened. What now? And that is, they spawned. You got a holding female now. We'll talk about what a holding female is if you don't know. But they spawned. Now you've got babies on the way. What do you do? That video is probably going to be the longest in the whole series, because there's a few different ways you can handle it. A lot of people do it differently. There's a whole lot more than just a few ways you can handle it. I'm going to share with you in great detail what I do. And understand when I say I mean we. I mean, this is Lisa and I, but I just get talking and I say I. I'm going to talk about what we do here. But I will give you examples of other ways you can do it. I'm not just going to tell you you have to do it my way. So that's going to be a pretty long video. And plus, you know me by now, I'm pretty long-winded. I can talk all day long. So, it happened. Now what? That's going to be number 6. Number 7 is going to be raising the fry. That's the important part, right? That's the most fun of this whole deal, is that you've got these little babies. They look like little grains of rice, little Tic Tacs, swimming around in the tank. And you want to raise them up so that you can get them big and throw them into your display tank like this, so they can chase each other around like these guys are doing, driving me crazy. Or you might want to, sell them, or you might want to start an African cichlid business. Whatever it is that you want to do, you want to raise these fry up. You want to raise them as quickly as possible, and you want them to be happy and healthy and develop properly. So we're going to talk about different things that you can do, what to feed them, what size tank to put them in, all that good stuff in episode number 7. Number 8 might be kind of a controversial title, but it's going to be called Getting Rid of the Babies. This process is very fun, folks. And what my hope is that most of the people watching this are hobbyists and they want to expand their hobby. by incorporating breeding these fish. And I believe that from start to finish, there are things you can do to make this whole process more efficient, hence making it more fun. If you're frustrated, if you're overwhelmed, it's not going to be fun. And you're probably not going to stick with it. But if you're enjoying it, if you're having fun, you're going to keep doing it and maybe set up another system and breed another kind of fish or whatever. And getting rid of the fish is a big part of that. Because if you end up getting this huge bottleneck of fish that you can't get rid of, well, what are you going to do then? You're going to give up and get rid of fish in ways they probably shouldn't be gotten rid of. So I'm going to give you some advice on how to get rid of them. There's a lot of different ways. I mean, you don't have to go out there and spend a bunch of money and put together a website. You don't have to carry them into a fish store and get pennies for them. I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can sell these fry and make money. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm putting together a get-rich-quick, start-your-own African cichlid breeding business kind of video series, but you can make some money selling them. I mean, if you're breeding one kind of fish, you could probably make enough to support the hobby. I wouldn't expect you to get rich from this. I certainly haven't. I'm broke. But you can certainly make a few dollars doing this, and that's part of the fun too. You make money doing something you love doing. In the end, everybody's happy. So getting rid of the fish is a big deal, and a lot of people talk about different ways of doing it. I'm going to tell you the best ways I've found of doing it. Some easy, free ways of getting rid of these fish, and so yeah, that's what episode number 8 is going to be. Episode 9 is going to be common problems and frequently asked questions. After doing those first 8 videos, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to forget. Because I'm on the camera, I'm on the spot, and I just forget something, and I don't feel like remaking the whole video. And so, part number 9 is going to be things that I've missed, and that I feel should be said in this series. And then some common problems that we run into. Things that you're more than likely going to run into too. We all do. And so if you know ahead of time to expect these things, you'll know what to do to either prevent them or handle them when they actually happen. And then part number 10 is going to be kind of the wrap-up episode. But one of the special things I wanted to do on that episode is I want to get questions from you. If you have questions for me about this series, it's probably going to take me a week, maybe 2 weeks to complete this series. We got 5 kids. I've had to lock them out of this room. It's hard to get time in here to focus and actually do this. But so it might take a couple of weeks. During that time, if you're watching this and you have a specific question, you can put it in the comment section. That's fine. But what I'd rather you do is message me in the private messaging in my inbox in YouTube. And what I'm going to do, I'll answer all of the questions, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a few of those that I didn't cover in the series, or maybe I didn't know the answer to and I needed to research that and then get back to that person. I'm going to kind of highlight those questions and go over those with you on the wrap-up show, if you will. So I'm going to try to go in as much detail as I can. I mean, I'm not going to hold anything back. These videos might be long. If there's one thing I do know for sure is that we African cichlid people, we can talk about African cichlids all day long, and I'm no different. I could sit here all day and talk to you about these things. So some of these videos might be pretty long. I hope I don't bore you. I'm going to try to find different locations in the fish room now that I have a new camera, by the way, and a tripod and all that. I'm going to set it up in different areas, hopefully give you some more scenery. It's bad enough you got to look at my face. Hopefully we can get you some nice little scenery to look at in the background. In case you're wondering, this is our 150. It's our display tank. We've got right now somewhere around 30 fish in here. This guy's blocking up everything, but this is my dude right here. He's my favorite. That's Vinny, the Venustus. I know it's not very original, but hey. He's about 10 inches long. Love that guy. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along with this series. And we're going to have some fun with this. And, comment, ask your questions, do all of that. I want to get some real discussion going on here. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, Facebook.com/KGTropicals. Click the like button on there for us, please. I mean, you know, give me a little bit of reward for putting in this work for you guys. I sure would appreciate that. And otherwise, we will see you on the next video. We're going to talk about selecting the right fish, where to get them, and how to do this thing. Let's get this thing started. Let's have some fun. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.